This is the book of Judith, chapter 5 and verse 10. But when a famine covered all the land of Canaan, they went down into Egypt and sojourned there, while they were nourished and became there a great multitude, so that one could not number their nation. Therefore the king of Egypt rose up against them and dealt subtilely with them, and brought them low with laboring in brick, and made them slaves. Then they cried unto their God, and he smote all the land of Egypt with incurable plagues, so the Egyptians cast them out of their sight. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who I'm learning this 100% true from, and who rule well. Much respect to the brothers laboring worldwide to wake up the elect of the children of Israel. Yeah, this lesson is going to go into Yahweh Shai putting plagues on our enemies, right? So I have this article queued up, and says was put out October 8th, 2019. Yeah, Karagma. Says 3 STDs reach all-time highs in the U.S. New CDC report says officials are raising alarm about a rise in STDs across the United States. For the 5th consecutive year, combined cases of gonorrhea, chlamydia, and syphilis have risen in the United States, according to a sexually transmitted disease surveillance report from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention published on Tuesday. Combined, they total 2.4 million infections that were diagnosed and reported just in the last year alone, said Elizabeth Tyrone, a CDC epidemiologist who worked on the new report, adding that the combined number of marks the most cases ever recorded since monitoring began in the United States. It says a rise in the prevalence and in the case of STDs can come with serious public health consequences and concerns, including infertility, drug resistance, gonorrhea, and congenital syphilis, which can cause infant death. All right, let's get some more precepts, because Yahweh Shai is plaguing this place, man. He's not playing. Why? Because the children of Israel are crying out to him, man. So this is book of Exodus, chapter 9. We start at verse 8. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses and unto Aaron, take to you handfuls of ashes of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it toward heaven in the sight of Pharaoh. And it shall become a small dust in all the land of Egypt, and shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beasts throughout all the land of Egypt. And they took ashes of the furnace and stood before Pharaoh, and Moses sprinkled it toward heaven, and it became a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beast. And the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils, for the boil was upon the magicians and upon all the Egyptians, right? Boils, man. Yahweh Shah sent boils, incurable plagues, man, right? Let's go to the book of Exodus, Shalakia, the book of 2nd Ezra, because this is prophesied, right? These incurable diseases, like gonorrhea and syphilis, I think those things can only be managed. They're incurable, right? 2nd Ezra 15, verse 1. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Most High, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hopeful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Most High, I will hold my tongue no more concerning their wickedness, which they profanely commit." So how is Yahweh Shah speaking? He's speaking through the mouth of his prophets, right? Let's prove that right quick, and then we'll come back to 2nd Ezra. Because he said he's not going to hold his tongue no more concerning his wickedness. Starting with the elder apostles on down, elder apostle Tahar, elder apostle Ramlah, elder apostle Gabar, starting with those great men that Yahweh Shah woke up, he's no longer holding his tongue concerning his wickedness, concerning this world's wickedness, right? So this is Hosea 12 and 10. "I have spoken by the prophets, and have multiplied visions and used similitude by the ministry of the prophets," right? So that's how Yahweh Shah is now no longer holding his tongue concerning the wickedness, right? Back in 2nd Ezra, verse 8, "I will hold my tongue no more as concerning their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually." Then we read in Judith that the Israelites cried unto Yahweh, and he smote Egypt with incurable plagues, right? "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt," right? So why you see Egypt here, man? Because we in Egypt again. We in a place of our abundance again. Pursuing the Revelations, pursuing the Deuteronomy 28. This is Egypt. This is spiritual Egypt and spiritual Sodom, right? "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof," right? So Yahweh Shah is getting ready to smite Egypt. Well, he's smiting them right now, man. Because we see the signs. He smite Egypt with plagues as before. Deaths of despair, deaths with opioid. Now he's putting these incurable diseases on them. And let's go back to this article. What that article said. It says, combined, they total 2.4 million infections that were diagnosed and reported just in the last year alone, says Elizabeth Tyrone, a CDC epidemiologist. What is an epidemic, man? That is like a great plague, right? An uncontrollable thing is going on. Who worked on the new report, adding that the combined number marks the most cases ever recorded since monitoring began in the United States. The most ever. It's a record, right? Who's doing this? Where's Yahweh Shah, man? It's plain to those who he's dealing with, right? So let's go to the curses. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 21. And the Lord Yahweh shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee until he have consumed thee off the land, whether thou goest to possess it. The Lord Yahweh shall smite thee with consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with the blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. Right? This is part of the pestilence that Yahweh is now sending out on our enemies. Right? Let's jump to verse 61. It says, matter of fact, verse 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. All right. Well, you go state by state cases, man. Atlanta is terrible with sexual transmitted diseases because of the wickedness, man. Because of the homosexuality, right? And how about Shimon Shai is also putting these curses right back on our enemy, upon the wicked of our people, and the wicked of Esau. You know, Esau is all wicked, so all of them getting it, right? Verse 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord Yahweh bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. Right? And why is Yahweh Shema doing this? Well, let's get it. And it shall, this is Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, when all these things come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether the Lord thy power, whether the Lord Yahweh thy power have driven thee. Right? So we recall all these things to mind when Yahweh shall put men, ordered our steps to find men to give us this truth, right? But we were calling all these things to mind. We jump down to verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee and persecuted thee. Right? So that's Yahweh shall put all these curses, the ones written and the ones not written, upon our enemies. Right? 3 STDs reach all-time highs in the U.S. New CDC report says. Right? Lord willing, this has been edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And much respect to the brothers laboring in this truth worldwide to wake up the elect of the children of Israel. Till the next time I say, Shalom.